You're trying to walk your dog, but you're running late today. You have places to be, yet your dog stops again. For the 8th time in 2 blocks, they sniff the grass. It looks completely unremarkable to you, just ordinary sidewalk. You pull the leash. They resist and hold their position. You wait. They keep sniffing, completely absorbed in the scent. Same spot. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds pass. You stand there wondering what could be so interesting. Why does this square foot matter so much to them? Most people assume dogs sniff because they like smells. That's true, but it misses the deeper point entirely. It's like saying humans read because they like words. Technically accurate, yet completely missing the purpose. Researchers studying canine olfaction say sniffing is reading. That patch of grass is a newspaper to your dog. That fire hydrant is a social media feed. That tree is a bulletin board covered in messages. Messages left by every dog who passed by recently. Your dog isn't being slow. They're gathering intelligence. They use a sensory system humans still can't replicate. Let's start with the hardware behind their incredible nose. Humans have roughly 6 million olfactory receptors. Dogs have between 200 and 300 million. That's not twice as good. It's 40 to 50 times. But sensitivity is only part of the story. A dog's nose structure is completely different from yours. When you inhale, air goes in and comes back out. When a dog inhales, air splits into 2 paths. Some goes to the lungs, some to a scent chamber. That chamber exists purely for detailed scent analysis. When they exhale, air exits through slits in their nostrils. This creates circulation that pulls new scent molecules in. They can smell continuously, even while breathing out. And here's the part that sounds like science fiction. Dogs can smell in stereo using each nostril independently. Each nostril sends separate information to the brain. This allows them to determine the direction of a scent. Stronger concentration in the left nostril means leftward source. They're not just detecting smells, they're spatially mapping them. Now, let's talk about what they're actually smelling. That patch of grass contains scent molecules from many animals. Dogs, cats, squirrels, rats, birds, insects, all recently passed. Your dog can identify each one individually. They can tell which direction each animal traveled. Fresher scent in one direction, older in the other. They can estimate how long ago the animal passed. Minutes, hours, or even days based on scent degradation. They can determine sex, reproductive status, stress level, even diet from urine, feces, or gland secretions. A 2019 study showed dogs distinguish identical twins by scent, identical twins with the same DNA, different scent profiles. Your dog can smell the difference between you and your sibling. They can smell whether you're stressed today versus yesterday. They can smell pizza you ate yesterday on your breath. Humans navigate visually. Dogs navigate chemically. When you see furniture, your dog smells its history. Who sat there? What animals passed? What food was eaten? It's not background detail. It's the primary data stream. So when your dog stops to sniff that grass, here's what's happening. They're checking the local news of the neighborhood. Who's been here? When? Are they familiar? Are they a threat? Is there a female in heat? Did a predator pass through recently? Is there food? The sniffing isn't random. It's active information gathering. And here's the critical part most people miss. Sniffing is mentally exhausting work for dogs. A 2021 study compared physical exercise with scent work. Scent-based enrichment produced greater signs of mental fatigue. Sniffing requires intense cognitive processing in the brain. They identify compounds, separate overlapping scents, match memories. They predict outcomes based on chemical information. Your dog isn't being lazy when they sniff. They're working hard, using their most powerful sense. Now let's talk about what happens when you don't let them sniff. If you constantly pull them away, you're limiting their world. It's like walking someone through a museum blindfolded. The walk becomes purely physical, with no mental stimulation, no environmental information, no satisfaction. Dogs without enough scent enrichment often develop problems. Increased anxiety, destructive behavior, hyperactivity can result. Because sniffing isn't optional for a dog, it's a primary need, like visual input for humans. But here's the balance you need to find. A walk with constant stopping isn't really a walk. It becomes a standstill, frustrating for everyone. The compromise is structured sniffing during your walks. Part of the walk is forward movement on shorter leash. Part is a dedicated sniff break on longer leash. 10 or 15 minutes to explore scents at their pace. You're not being permissive, you're meeting a biological need. Research supports this approach for better behavior. Dogs with regular scent enrichment show lower stress, better focus, improved trainability, calmer behavior overall. Sniffing isn't a distraction from training, it's a prerequisite for a focused, happy dog. There's also a social component few people discuss. When dogs sniff where another dog urinated, then mark. That's communication, not dominance over the other dog. They're leaving a message. I was here too. I'm part of this neighborhood and this social network. Dogs prevented from sniffing and marking lose access. They don't know who's around, can't participate. It's isolating for them socially and emotionally. Here's the part that connects scent to well-being. Sniffing activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It's calming and helps reset an overstimulated brain. An anxious dog can often return to baseline through sniffing. Processing complex scents shifts them from reactive to investigative. Stress drops. Focus returns naturally. That's why scent work helps anxious, reactive dogs. It gives them a non-fear-based activity for their brain. Now, one more thing about aging dogs. As dogs get older, vision and hearing often decline, but smell stays relatively intact much longer. A senior dog can still navigate through scent. When an old dog spends a walk sniffing, they're compensating. Smell is their primary sense now, more than ever. Taking that away is like dimming their last light. So the next time your dog stops to sniff grass, remember their brain is processing hundreds of scent molecules. They're identifying who's been there and when, assessing threat, opportunity, social context, updating their mental map of the entire neighborhood, satisfying a cognitive need as fundamental as seeing. When they finally move on, they've learned so much. While you looked at houses, they read chemical stories left by animals you'll never see, telling them everything about the world they walk through. That sniff isn't a delay, it's the whole point. If this changed how you see your dog sniffing, subscribe. Drop a comment. Do you give dedicated sniff time? And if you've wondered why your dog brings random objects, watch next. The explanation will show it's not about play. It's about something far older and far more meaningful.